So, hello people. Going to do a quick stream. War in the East 2 from Stalingrad to Berlin campaign. I've updated the game. I'm running it with the latest patch 1.02.11. This patch has seen some various changes in the combat and in the air war, and also with the anti-air equipment. So I'm not entirely sure how deadly the Soviet artillery is in this version, but I think we will find out. Let's first go through the combat that happened in the last turn and see the damage that we took, and then my goal was to run the air phase and then do go through the options that we have regarding the newly created SS Panzer Corps that we can employ to the field. So yeah, I have basically 5 options where we can deploy that unit, and I would like to hear your input. Maybe where would you think we could benefit the most if we would deploy those units? So further ado, let's get into this. So we have the turn summary on the right. Yeah, we got a lot of equipment to the field. We lost 200 tanks in the combats. I think we had a couple of failures in deployment. I think I can take responsibility of a couple of those. But yeah, I couldn't predict all of them. But in retrospect, my deployment wasn't optimal in all of the places. And especially the fact that I have so many tank units in the most forward line of combat. I would like to keep those tank units a little bit further behind as a mobile reserve. But now, because we are so stretched thin, I need to have tanks to fill in the line. That creates a lot of problems. Yeah, we have 5 depleted units. In Stalingrad we saw some routes, so I expect those units are probably from that region. Yeah, in total we got 24 new units. If we observe this list, units on the map are the most significant one. Panzer Grenadier Division. We got some pioneers to the reserves. Coastal fortress construction. If we have to fall back to Sevastopol or something, I guess we can rebuild the forts. We got the Totenkopf. We got Stuks, howitzers, Das Reich, 7th Panzer, mixed flag, Panzer Corps, and we got also Narva SS, Estonian Infantry Battalion, the reserves. So a lot of stuff. Yeah, that is going to be the next thing after the air phase, what we should be looking. But first let's look at the combat and losses maybe. Manpower losses for Soviets. They take roughly 150,000 in these past 2 turns. So those are fairly heavy losses. Gun losses 4,000, AFV losses. Yeah, it was a really bad turn for us. Like I said, that I would like to have the losses about in 1:8 ratio. But now it was 200 to 900 tanks, and that's just not acceptable. But yeah, I think 100 of those tank losses are basically my fault from bad deployment of assets. So yeah, especially I remember that fight in the Caucasus where we got picked out. Enemy using anti-tank battalions, and they basically took out our tanks there. So aircraft losses. Surprisingly, Soviets having so many aircraft losses. Mostly combat, though, if you look at that. And then we can look at the mapmen situation. Well, Soviets are still above 6 million. We are close into 4 million now after the reinforcements, I guess. And map guns. We are such hugely outnumbered in guns. AFVs, it's evening out a little bit. Especially now that we got those Panzer, SS Panzer units. So let's check out the situation. The combat situation. Where did we fight? We fought here below Leningrad. This wasn't even a close battle. I don't see us breaking in there. How about this? Enemy 2-1 outnumbering us. They also have advantage in tanks here. But yeah, I think it's quite important to have air forces up. Even here in the north, we can make their attacks less deadly. We keep our fortification levels. And 1 to 8, they didn't get closer than 334 meters. Also here enemy uses tanks, but they are all stopped. In guns, massively outnumbering us. But this is a strong position, so I'm not worried about that. Here, fortification, they managed to grind it down. I think here we will need reinforcements. If you look at this, combat value went from 400 to below 200. So this is definitely a position that we have to reinforce. And you can also see that this combat, they had those mortars and howitzer, mortar regiments. So many of them, so they were able to grind down the fort level. So yeah, this is an important position that we have to reinforce. I see. And how about here? 60,000 against our 16,000. Minor losses. Fort level was kept, so no trouble in there. Let me just hide it for a second. Yeah, I can see it. It's only level 2. We need to reinforce that position. Let's go on with the combats. Here, north of the Valdai Hills. Very low casualty fight. There were 2 combats. Second one also low casualty. Yeah. This was a surprising battle. Well, I guess it comes down to the artillery advantage of the enemy. And we lost 4 fighters for nothing in here. Okay. And here they lowered our fort level again. Heavy rocket battalions. Tank brigade. Corps artillery regiment. So this first one lowered it already to level 1 and the second attack That was like a frontal. This was a heavy battle. I think we will need some reinforcement in too. This looked like surprisingly tough. I was a bit shocked how tough this got, but I guess it just comes down to the amount of guns. That they have such a huge number of them. Here that is the desperate breakthrough attempt. They tried to break through, but no. Here is a very strong enemy unit. Probably is it a guards rifle corps here? Would be really interesting or really nice to encircle that unit. If that would be somehow possible, I doubt it because the terrain is so hostile here. Although we have on top of these marshes, we have control over those hexes, so maybe possible. How about in here? Here the losses were quite even actually. Enemy took more tank losses, but they managed to grind down the fortifications. This was of course what I was most disappointed. We lost the 40 tanks. Yeah. And the enemy managed to break through with this corps. It had like 30,000 men or something. Look at this. This was the single combat with that only one corps, rifle corps attacking us. It had 37,000 men. And they managed to escape. I don't know how the hell did they have movement to escape from this trap. Even after they attacked before they broke out. So I don't know how did they manage to get in here. But I'm keen on hunting that down. We have to hunt that unit down. Also we're going to take down these tank corps over here. Here we got pushed back. And we held, this is the second army position. Here was a really massive battle. Fort level was reduced. 55,000 men. And a lot of guns. Like I mean a lot of guns. And this is the Hungarian sector with the Panzer division helping them out. And we managed to hold. We managed to hold there. That was really important. Really important to hold down this force. Encirclement technically is possible, but realistically no, because these units, once there's 26 attack power in here, and there wouldn't be any natural defenses if we would go around this unit. So, and the Italians, they managed to hold like, this is so important, these delaying actions, that we haven't been pushed out to the open yet. But as we can see, like, these units are no longer, that's a defensive value of 2. So these guys will get thrown away unless we reposition our troops. And I think we have to take the tank division away from here, even though it's been really crucial, the Hungarian tanks. Italians got pushed back in here. I don't know about this armor. 65 armor. What was that armor in? Was it in this Italian division per se, or how did we commit that armor in that combat? And yeah, this is the collapsing Romanian flank. We had the really strong position over here. Now it's been overrun. 2 massive attacks. In the first one, Romanians held their own, but you know, their command is kind of questionable. They got air support, they got everything. This was amazing defense. And then the second one was just too much, and they got completely destroyed in the second one. They lost half of their guns, so their effectiveness as a fighting force is down significantly. I don't see a way that those can be effective for quite some time. Yeah, like now we have a couple of options how we want to use these Romanian units. We can sacrifice them, of course. We can like use them as blockers. Enemy uses hasty attack, of course it doesn't need that much of their movement points, but still that is probably the way that I would use them. And then we managed to hold in here. This was super important that we have this air base in here. So that was an important battle. I think now what we need to do, we need to shorten the line. So maybe these are the fortresses. Fortification line basically. The problem is that we have these empty tiles in between here. Here we have nothing that we can hold on to. This is something that we could hold on, but it's 2 tiles in here. I think it has to be either this unit or this unit where we want to hold. We just have to pick. But it will anyways be a 3 hex gap, which is exploitable. Like here they can go through without any penalties to movement. They can even reach here if they are really lucky. And that's the scary thought. Yeah. Then in the Stalingrad region, I'm glad that I put this blocker unit up here. It really did its job. The Romanian cavalry division got completely routed. Completely routed out there. We can also look at the Stalingrad situation. 4 combats. This was of course. It was a bit unnecessary. I don't know why those tanks. Those tanks, I guess they belong to the motorized unit. But yeah. Motorized retreat, infantry routed. And then they went into this gap where they got just retreated. Okay. They lost their tanks though. And here was 1 battle only. And Here was 4. We tried 4 times. And we lost 1 fortification level. So in the first combat already. The second one held. We held. In the fourth one, our combat value was actually a little bit higher than. Was it because of those dukes? No, but they were contributing to all of those battles. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they are just trying to wear us down. Our situation is pretty bad. We are quite threatened over there. Here is the flank attack, of course. Here we got just thrown out. Yeah, it was quite even losses. We had massive air support though. This was the first good battle, of course, but they grinded our fortification down. And then the second battle was the sad thing to see. These anti-tank regiments here, and yeah, this was ugly. Very ugly. I think I should have flipped the employment of my forces so that this infantry should have been here and tanks should have been in mobile reserve bit, and I don't know. Now it's a bad situation. But there is like hope a little bit, although our flank is completely exposed now here. So it's like such a desperate situation that there is like a couple of options. We can try to stand and fight, or we can go on a full retreat, or there is a fourth idea, which is like offensive planning. Push forward with those tanks. Take Grozny now when it's open here. That's like a crazy plan. Like, how on earth are we going to keep these guys in check? Those 3. We have these mobile assets in here. We have basically a chance to encircle this. But how would we hold that encirclement? And maybe we would need to do a counterattack in here or something like that. I don't know. If we want to trap this one rifle corps in here. That's what I've been thinking. But yeah, this is like the attack option is here. It's kind of like a desperate attack to somehow like convince that all of their units should be retreating back. But I'm not sure is that realistic. Would they start falling back if we do the offensive? Because these guys are going to threaten our lines. They will get super close already. But do they have any reserves? Like, we have this mobile unit. Like, we would just need a couple more mobile units if we use like rail. Bring units in here. And their task would be to go around. I don't know. This is so optimistic, overly optimistic. Yeah, because in my point of view, we have a lot of divisions in here. We have some extra that we could spare. Definitely. But okay, let's do the air. We can have some sense. Do we need more recon in here? Do we want to know what is happening? We can do weather report. Weather on the ground. We have just snow, not heavy snow. And we have a blizzard. So I guess we want to minimize air operation. It just says snowfall right now, but it's kind of predicted that it's going to be a blizzard. Blizzard is in here. Yeah, you can see actually this completely white. That's where the blizzard is going. It's just snowfall in here. Blizzard already in here. No, it's just snowfall. Yeah. To check these planes. They are all ready. No damage. Aircraft in pool, pilots in red, pilots ready. Like these guys all seem to be fine. What do we have here in? These are just resting. About these guys, what is going on with these guys? Ready 31. Pilots fatigue. Planes don't have any damage. They only. Yeah, I guess we are rather fine in there. I was just thinking, do we need like planes in Demian score? Or could we benefit if we would? Well, we have 4 BF 109 G2s over here. We have a lot of fighters in here. They are not really doing anything. These are just some recon planes. Then in Vosmov we have I don't see us doing a lot of recon. We are do a lot here. So yeah, this is a swamp. The air tile, heavy woods. We could shorten the line if we take this and these 2 positions. We would be of course more exposed because there's so much snow and water in there. So our units couldn't really dig in. What do we have in Demyansk? Have this fighter unit. Pilot fatigue is low. Planes are low already. Okay. Like, looks rather okay. Situation with planes at least. There was this one issue I remember. I think it has to be this unit. Where does it belong? Yeah, Luftwaffe 4. I'm going to send it to Luftwaffe 6. Or the Fliegerkorps. Luftwaffe 6 is here. '51. Yeah, Luftwaffe 6, okay. Let's put it to that one then. 51. Yeah, now it's in Luftwaffe 6. Okay. That's good. That's good. Now it's solved that issue. We can also check if enemy did any bombing action. It's only this one that they did. Okay. Let's check our routines. What have we selected? Or first, partisans, garrison shortage. Rates. Okay. Air Force. And there's Royal Air Force. Yeah. We had this Soviet government evacuates Moscow. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, well, if we look at the frontier, it's basically open road to Moscow if we want to push. But okay. How about here? I'm confident that we can still hold on to these bases. Also in here. Yeah. Probably our deployment could be much better. But the way I see it, we really need these. Need these planes up. So it was this transport group Süd. Let's check where do we have supply bases. Is this airfield completely overcrowded? Capacity 400. And what is the situation in here? There is a lot of level bombers, transport planes. Capacity total 3. How much is it over then? Here it says 119. Okay, 119%, so it's over the limit. Okay. Maikov, Olshanka, yeah, this fighter group is like all over the place. Well, let's check those recons that we set up. Well, technically we can still do some recon in here. Figure out what kind of enemy are we up against. In here, I think we can forget that recon mission. So that was the first one, then we have this second one in here. 118 recon planes contributing, that's too much. That's just way too much. Too many planes. I'm thinking about this situation. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I want to know what is happening in here. I think that is most useful. Intensity. Well, they can do medium intensity, only 3 days. 3 days. Oh yeah, I had set up a ground attack in here. Like this would be like amazing to attack this spearhead. But I don't see a way. I would rather attack here. Ground attack interdiction. Yeah. To basically harass with these tank units as much as we can. Based on our intel, yeah, there is quite some AA in all of them, but I think we want to do this. It's going to give us some flak casualties, but I don't know about this altitude though. What is an optimal for level bombers? Do we want to do it under 10,000? 12,000? We have all different kinds of units in here. Do we put like Fliegerkorps? No, it's like, you want to keep it automatic, I think. Priority, high priority. Intensity low. So how many would it do? 9 missions, right? Only day missions. Weather needs to be better than very poor. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Maybe too many escorts. Record aircraft escorts. 0 to auto, I don't know. P15. Partial escorts, yes. I guess so. The rest is just ground support, yep. Yep. Do we want to fly one mission flying some recon in here before the blizzard? I think we could do one recon mission. Like what else do we... What are we waiting for with our... So is it blizzard already in here? Here is blizzard. 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 Here is snowfall. Something like this, maybe. We want to know this gap. Blizzard. No. No, let's not do it even. That just seems insane. If blizzard is happening around here, so no thank you. I think we are good to go. We could take some air units out from the theater, but I'm not really sure about that, so I guess we just execute the air missions. Let's see. Take some flak damage. 22 flak. Are we going to take some more? I guess so. So it was this ground attack that was the most costly. As always, luckily we didn't lose that many fighters. Of course, fighters are just easy to produce, so I never know how to evaluate this effectiveness. Like were we really effective or not? I can't make out of this result. I guess I'm always like kind of just hopeful that we were successful. Like how do I read that report? That's a mystery to me. But okay, I want to now give you the options for our reserve units or reinforcements. This unit. So first of all, we can assign these to the correct unit. Yeah, like that. So where do we send these guys? I have couple of options. Like, I don't know, can these guys really like change the course of the war? That single SS Panzer Corps. But here are my options. This is my least favorite option for employing those units. Let's call it number one option, but not number one in my list. So we would employ them to the Leningrad front. And where I would then use them here in the front. I would basically punch a hole in here and here, encircle this unit first, and then push through these heavy woods, capture the ports, which would mean a slow encirclement of Leningrad. So that would be option number 1. What would I give it as a success probability? Like breakthrough, for breakthrough I will give like 80% chance that we manage to do this stage. 80% chance. For reaching this position, I'm going to give like 60% chance, and then the final stages of getting those boards, let's say it's a 40% chance of success, and then taking the last possible board here, only like 20%, kind of linear 20% decrease in chances of success in each stage. So that is my operation number 1 idea. It would basically free up, if we think about the impact that it would have, encirclement of Leningrad, managing to hold a line in here, hold this kind of front. We could free up all these divisions when Leningrad falls after, I would say it approximately takes maybe 3 months. Maybe 3 months, 90 days. So I'm thinking like 90 days of starvation, and then the city would fall. And we basically need at least this 40%. We would need to take these 2 ports. The 3rd port is not completely necessary based on my previous encirclement of the city. If they just keep one line open, they are still going to be struggling with the supplies. But yeah. So this is option number 1. It would relieve all these infantry forces that we could shift anywhere in the front, which would be amazing, of course. But is that really a sensible deployment of those tank units? Because the breakthrough in these 2 tiles and then consecutive movement, capture the ports, that's the crucial part. That's my option number 1. Then here I don't see any major operation. I don't see any benefit of pushing further. Like pushing further here. Not really that big of a benefit. Of course there could be a pocket possibility of all these units. Because this is actually very easy to defend. Easy to defend this territory here. You would just need to have wide enough gap, these two tiles, and then meet up, link up. But this would just take time. It's an offensive operation. There is risks involved. I would give maybe 30% chance of success, just based on the distances here. And what is the overall usefulness? Well, we would get a couple of divisions out, but nothing really life-changing. This is maybe my main idea, or my real opportunity. What I've been thinking about, real option for employing those panzers. Number 2, take Moscow. Of course, we have now, we don't know what kind of defenses there are in here. We know that these city tiles are like they have those fort units in there. Typically they have fort units in there, so I assume that they also have them right now. But yeah, basically this turn, if we move these units offensively, like what I was now thinking, I could do this anyways right now, because we are in kind of a good position. There is just no mobile assets in this side, so that's a problem. So we basically would have to do this kind of movement to encircle what we got in here. These assets. And then we would also gain knowledge. We would know what is facing us in here. And based on that we can decide whether the push for Moscow would be viable. I'm not saying capturing the city, but encircling it. The negative side, of course, is that would leave our flanks really exposed. But yeah, I can't really say the probability for this objective. I think it all depends if we manage to do this move number 1, which is the encirclement of these Soviet troops. Like if we manage to do that, and they don't have, like, they have only 1 to 2 units here in front. Well, we know that there is one at least here. Let's say 1 to 3 units. Then I don't know, I would give it maybe a possibility of like 50% success with those tanks. And that would be, of course, a massive price for us to encircle the city. Like, we wouldn't be able to take it, but I don't know what would the supply effects be for the Soviets. Like, it's such an important railway hub and national supply source, so what would be the impacts of that? I have no idea. Would it cripple the Soviet war machine? Then option number 3 is the Italian sector, employing the panzers to help over here on this yellow line. So it's basically containment of these attempts, but we already have troops that I think these troops can manage to do a containment and do a counterattack against this unit. But employing them, the panzer assets here, we could smash this position. So that's easy. I think that's easy. And I give that a high, I could give that a really high probability, because we can even almost do it with our current forces. Then employment option number 4, let me just move it a little bit, the screen. Employment option number 4, right? Yeah, it's number 4. Leningrad was first, Moscow second, Italian front third. It would be then this line. Containment of this Soviet push. Like we would just need to hold on these key positions on the sides. Let the Soviets come in. Create this kind of situation. Attack from the sides, destroy this Soviet push. So yeah, I think, like, if we think about what sector of the front is now in free fall, in collapsing, it's this Romanian situation is looking pretty bad. And what would be the effects of Soviet armor reaching these lines? It would be catastrophic. So let's be honest about that. So that would look really bad. It would have really, really big effects. And then I'm going to give you of option 5. Of course, it's Stalingrad. And in Stalingrad we have many variations. Okay, we can see mechanized forces in here. This is bad. Option number 5 would have been Stalingrad, but actually it would have been creation of a corridor. Like a corridor, like, let's include this corridor through which we would have strong units on the sides and in the front. Something like this. This kind of employment that our own units that have been fighting here, the 6th Army, could withdraw in good order. So this was like my idea, that it would just perform like a masking operation, that we can take our units from the front line and let them escape. But now, after we run the recon, after we have run the recon, we actually gain knowledge about these. And this is highly concerning. This is highly concerning. We have only these guys here to stop the Soviets. And the Romanians are here. Oh my goodness, this is looking really bad. Like, we have the tanks here, of course we will put the tanks in there. Put these tanks in here or something, but this is still wide open then. This section is wide open. Yeah. And yeah, my option 6 would have been here in the Caucasus. But I think that this situation is going to develop so fast that when my panzers would be arriving, these positions are likely overrun. Like, they are coming now to the flanks. So, like, there's no question about it. Like, yeah, they can put 3 units against this regiment of mountaineers. And yeah, this is just looking bad. Awful. But yeah, now you kind of know my thoughts. My thoughts, what we can do with that reinforcement as a Panzer Corps. Because that would be the lifeline of our troops. Or like, yeah, it can really make a difference. Anywhere where we want to deploy it can make a difference. But the matter is just the timing. The timing in the Stalingrad and the timing in the Caucasus is like running out. So I want to just check how far can Totenkov, for instance, reach by train. Rather far. They would be ready in two turns. They would be there. Then they would take a third turn when they get out of the trains. So yeah, in 3 turns they would be in here, holding this line if needed, or encircling the Soviets here, or how about attacking Moscow? Show me Moscow. Take this away. Attacking Moscow in 2 turns. They would be here right here right now. If I just press the button, they will be here. Okay. So now you know that. We can leave that decision till the end. And as you can see, we have a lot of divisions in here, lots of regiments. I think they will start building this. We will start building the defensive line. And also in here, Don, they will embark with their trains here. I think that's the only viable option. First, let's destroy Soviet units. Oh, okay, guards rifle. Guards rifle, attack from 2 sides. Take it out. They retreat. Okay. They retreat over here. Didn't really expect that. Be honest. They have 24 of defensive value. They duck in really well. Soviet units. I'm going to use this Jäger division. Yeah. We could either do a hasty, or Jäger division can do alone. I think we do the Jäger division alone and it's a deliberate attack. No need for pioneers, there is no... We can use air support in this one, thank you. Yes. That's it. 1 elite division less to worry about. Supply status really bad. Really bad. We would need to get closer to our supply sources. Get the depots online. We could even build the depot system in here. Let's go first over there. There's a rail yard in Peno. And there would be a rail yard in here. That would be amazing. That would be really good. At least having it in Peno. That would help a lot, so let's get out of the train. And we start slowly fixing this line. Veliki Luki words. I think we have to commit quite a lot of troops for this attack. It would be 17 to 25. I think I want to do that. Yeah. Only 70 men lost. So it was like only nominally strong enemy unit. Not in reality. My mobile reserves haven't really been contributing to any battles. That's my... Are they badly deployed? Should they be closer? Closer to the front. And then we want to destruct this rifle division. These guys have a... They will have a hard time moving. Let's see. Would this be the answer? Yeah, that's the answer. Okay. So now we have gotten rid of those problems. Now is our rail repair almost going to Kaluga. We would have to push this enemy unit out of it. Go to the northern side of this unit to be thrown in turn 10. I have to remember that. These are all brigades. Then we have some weird artillery division. Panzer division has been refitted. There's a rather okay table of equipment. Now I'm just looking at these. These seem rather weak. All of them. Very weak. And now we can actually move these motorized units out of here. Okay, let's fix this situation in the north. It was this position that is now super weak. Going to assign this infantry division over there. Or only 4 units. First corps. Get in there. I think this unit, like this position, is kind of advantageous for us because it breaks down the railway to these guys, and yeah, they have to be supplied via trucks. That's something positive. Like that's the only reason why we are sticking in that hex. If you are thinking that why don't we just withdraw? Well, these are all motorized assets. I would to use infantry first to make holes to the line. So do I need to engage with the enemy like this first? Just the rifle brigade. It's like sad that we even have to engage with it. This is in a little bit better shape. Would it have something support? No. Do they have any? Do you have any artillery? You have some artillery, okay. Could you handle it yourself? That's a little bit too close for comfort though. Even though it's just a brigade, but it's too close to call. Take these 2,000 men. Or something extra. Yeah, like take these. 3.6. That is enough. That's all what I wanted. Hasty attack against the rifle brigade. Can we do a hasty with the tank armored division too? Let's do a hasty. They withdraw. And they withdraw to a position that is really the opposite where we want them to. $26. I guess we have to do a deliberate attack. Still orderly withdrawal. I think what we can do here, we can smash this rifle brigade. How many rifle brigades do you got? And they retreat in good order. Again. No routes. No routes anymore. Those days are over apparently. Six. Let's do something like. No, it's your. Okay, finally they routed. Goodness gracious, we had so much firepower in that. Like, are these tanks effective anymore? Would I just hunt them down? Like, put some mixed flak or something in there. Into the mixture. Take these tanks out. Like, of course I can encircle them, but that is going to mess up my plans. Get further in the center. Yeah. We have so many regiments, we will have to stitch those regiments together. That's what I've been trying to do for quite some time. Haven't really succeeded in it yet. Here is one of those regiments. Is this the routed tanks? So what on earth do I want to encircle these guys? These have been such a pain. Such a pain to me that I need to take them out. What is the best play? I think this is the best course of action. How many depots do they? They took 3 depots. Well, I take it. Move those guys over there. Okay, let's look at this flank. We just need to make a solid line here. And then I need to go with these tanks or something. This tank unit is going to be the one doing the encirclement to the other side. And these I'm just going to stack those units, maybe. Maybe like that. 5, 9. Can't go there deeper, they can just go here. Seven. These are just 3. That's way too low. Low defensive value. I think these guys could go help here. Now they are 9. These are now 10. Send this infantry division over there. Now it's like 9, 10, 11. It's looking rather good. Okay, there are some enemy units in here. We are not capturing these surrounding hexes. That's good to keep in mind. Do we want to leave a gap in here? Okay, tanks roll forward. HQ, we have to send it also closer. Maybe stay on the road. I don't know. Does it really matter? The HQ. I think it mattered if it was on rails. Of course, it's best to put it on a depot. Then it can really supply the units well. Yeah, I've been making that mistake all over again, that I have tanks, but they don't have any infantry support protection, and then they attack with anti-tank battalions attached to those units, and they just take them out. So that's what I'm afraid of. We take more depots. Yeah. Okay. How about now? Okay, these guys can go that far even. Yeah, well, we need somebody to close this. Close that gap. These guys can't really move anywhere. Where should I move them? For the time being, go there. Put the tank, yeah. 18th Panzer Division, 23 tanks. Oi oi oi. That is in such a bad shape. How did you manage to lose it all? What are they most in need of? HD anti-tank gun. 0%. Armored cars, medium flak guns. Tank destroyers, medium tanks, that's what they need. Oh, okay. If I put that tank there, is it sure? Are we sure that we don't have any support for them? Okay. Okay. Something like that. Defense in depth. There's 2 layers of defenses here. Effectively. Okay. They are in reserve. It's these lonely tank units that have to hold now this position. Panzer Corps should move closer. closer to those positions. What on earth do we do in here? We have like a quite thin line in here. (3-8). Going to rather do something like that. And I can reinforce some of these key positions. Maybe like that. Put these like well supplied units. This is badly supplied, so I'm going to it hasn't really refitted well. Where is the other depot? It's here. Okay, but it has a good equipment status. It's just the problem is that it doesn't have enough ammo and food. Okay, that's a division. Yeah, these guys don't have really equipment. These would be well supplied. Something like that. 14, 9, 17. These guys can move. Okay. Thank goodness. Yeah. How far can these go? They could reach this division. Yeah, these two positions here in the northern side are exposed. We just don't have enough movement to get anybody in there. Similar issue. Similar issue is with. However, I can reinforce this if I want to. But yeah, the Panzer divisions are again exposed. It's the same issue all over again. Panzer Corps. I think we want to switch that this no longer belongs to the Panzer Corps. It can belong to this corps. And then where was the Panzer Corps? Here. Over here. Where? Here. Yeah. You go to the Panzer Corps. I think the 3rd Panzer Army, we could make it into an assault army. Because it's been pushing so hard in here. Yeah. How about here with the 16th Army? These guys are also like all over the place. Yeah, I think I'm going to make it an assault army maybe. This is like taking such a massive toll on these units. Or I have to reconsider though. 9th Army is so much over the like unbelievably over the command limit. Yeah, this is rather weak employment over here. Could put these together, or we can hold these level 3 forts. Like, if we need these level 3 forts, we can be maintaining them. We just need some units to hold in those positions. This can be a mobile reserve, if it would work, as for a change. Section of the Großdeutschland division. Yeah, why not? That's a one quite viable option. These guys could get closer to the supply source. They are already like out of their supplies. These guys still have a relatively good situation with supplies. Oh, they could even get here reinforced. We can even pick which tank unit we want to reinforce. Of course, we want to reinforce this one. Panzer Corps. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So okay, we gained some knowledge here in the Moscow front. We didn't find the enemy. So I guess that doesn't mean that we should call off the operation to take Moscow, but I still leave it kind of for you to decide too. Like, what would you think? Where should we focus our forces? I'm gonna put this on YouTube and you can comment it there. Because yeah, we have no knowledge what is facing us in here. maybe nothing. Maybe this is all that there is. Maybe there is a iron line of defense in here. That's an alternative. And yeah, we know that these sections of the front are collapsing. So we have to think about the situation. Yeah, this is going to take a lot of care to try to fix Stalingrad position. Like, are we trying to hold not that position actually, but I mean like this position, because it can be attacked so many sides. Evacuation of these positions. But then the problem is this tile. That is my sorrow number 1. Also this tile only level 1 fort. So those are like my concerns. Would we have these? Let's consider like what we want to man, what positions. We keep these. We leave these open for the enemy to move in. What kind of chaos can they create? And this 28 can roam free. They can attack the flanks of these units. They can concentrate so much strength. They can probably destroy these positions too. So I don't know. I'm a bit scared. How can we rescue? Like maybe like trying to rescue everybody, we are sacrificing the whole army. I think that's also what is something that we maybe see what is happening there. So maybe we should just accept that we have to sacrifice something. And if we want to sacrifice something, it should be Romania. That's my thing. Because the fact is just that the time is running out. Time is running out for staying in here. These pushes are going to be so strong. Like if these are just brigades, if they are brigades, then we are safe. But if they are full tank corps, full mechanized corps, like there is no stopping them cutting this line. And when they cut the line, moving anybody in here gets so much more difficult. So yeah, these are going to be really hard decisions. Really hard decisions. Especially now because it's not summertime, we can't dig in properly. Like we should have had regiments here digging with construction units on them like ages ago. So that's just my issue. Like we can weaken these forward positions. There is quite a lot extra units that we can weaken because the enemy has taken out most of their units from this line. So we can actually weaken this front line in the Caucasus. But where would we employ those freed up reserves? Would they be employed somewhere here? Or would we employ them here? Or like this is going to require very tough decisions. Like how far can we run? We can run this far. Because some of them have to run, some of them have to use. Yeah, like when they are trapped like this, they can barely even move. So yeah. Right now, not a lot of units are trapped. We could get quite many of them alive if we just run right now. So that's also something that I would like to get your help on. So because the situation is getting really critical. And we are trying again to do these desperate encirclements, which the enemy can break if they concentrate their forces. So that's the name of the game here. But I'm hoping that they don't find another tank killer unit and destroy these guys in here, because that would be an absolute disaster. But yeah, and then we think about where are we going to send all of these units. There's a lot of units that we have managed to free up. So where are we going to ship them? And how are we going to unload these units in the Italian front? And how are we going to make sure that that these positions will hold? It's not. I think we should consider how far can this guy move. Yeah, I think this motorized division is the solution. We have to utilize that in the key position to hold the advance of the enemy. So I think that's something that we have to do. Send it here. I can even do it right now. I'm 100% certain that that's the move that I need to make. So there is no question about it. And just put it out for reserves. And let's see how much does it lose. Yeah, it's now 39 defensive value, but we still want to replace these cavalry units maybe. Yeah. It's Italian unit. Italian unit. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to put this division back together and then see where we get from there. But yeah, we have to really think about the defensive solution in here. Something that would hold. And then we have some tanks here. What would be the best way to utilize those tanks? Because we can send them somewhere here. Maybe try to get them finally in a mobile reserve so they would contribute to combat. So that's also another thing. But yeah, okay. That was the stream for today. And I hope I see you in the next one. So thank you. Bye.